Hello and welcome to episode 9. I'm back, feeling okay-ish. We're on the job that we're on now is the one that Aaron started, but we're on here permanently now. The original job is pretty much finished. There's a few finishing touches, but I'm just gonna go and tackle them on weekends and stuff. But the footings are dug. Obviously, I explained that we've got to stop the footings. As you can see, stop them, start them, stop them. And the reason for that is we've got this big building next to us, and we don't want to dig a big channel at the side of it when the footings to that are shocking. I'll show you now. You can see literally the footings are like 300 mil deep. Someone's built this like a carport or something and then added to it. Which is what it is. It's not gone anywhere, and it won't go anywhere the way that we're doing it. But for today now, on a previous video I showed you that we moved a bedroom window and we finished it and everything, but patched it up. We hadn't skimmed it. So yesterday the lads just did a bit of plastering prep, and today now I'm hoping to plaster that room, get it finished so I don't have to go back in there. And then tomorrow we've got the building inspector out, so as soon as he gives us the thumbs up on these footings, we're going to cast them. So we're hoping for a good end to the week. So he'll give us the thumbs up because it's very obvious that it's good ground. But as soon as he's happy, we'll get the concrete in, and then yeah, we can then have a look at digging these next sections out and getting them casting as well. So there's a lot going on. And then after that, for the future videos, we're going to transform this garden. So we're looking at a raised patio, and the customer now wants us to get rid of the grass, put some astroturf in. So there's a lot of work to be done, but for now, I'll take you upstairs. So, it's 20 to 11. And whenever you think you're going to walk into a room and plaster it, it is never the case. All the prep work needed a bit more, so I'll show you what we've got to do. Got to do this on the outside of the landing, a small patch down there. The radiator was on, so we had to take that off, plaster that, plaster the ceiling, patch that. Going around here now, I've put an angle bead on there, so I'm just going to fill that out. Same with that one, you can see where we've put the PVA on. Do that, little patch over there, and then you'll remember this room that we were in on the other episode. Skim that whole wall, that whole wall. That wood didn't get bonded yesterday, so I had to bond that this morning. I had the fan on it trying to get it to dry. And then yeah, it's plasterboard reveal, so it's not too bad. But get that plastered. A couple of little bits I've done differently is on here I scrimmed the bead. Some people do, some don't. I don't think it matters too much, but just with patching it, with bonding, meeting plasterboard, I've just scrimmed it. But yeah, sometimes it can get in the way and stick out when you're trying to skim. But yeah, Charlie boy is just gonna finish the PVAing off because we PVA'd it yesterday. I'm gonna give it another lick now because the walls are quite dry. But apart from that, then I'm gonna get a mix on and see what we can do. So bye for now. That certainly got me going. I can open the window now. I always keep them closed whilst I'm skimming. But I'll show you what I've done. First gauge is done, so it's just gone dinner. We got that done, that patch done. Wet corner there, a lot of work goes into them, but done a good job of it. I've left the screws, the customer put the rad on, so I took the screws out, brackets off, screws back in, so we can see them. He'll be able to whip them back out, put his bracket exactly where it was, saves him having to level it and everything. But got that floated out, smoothed it all in nice, that patched. Don't know why that stopped, but yeah, all finished. This afternoon now, this wall, this all the way around, and the reveals. So there's a bit to do. It's gonna be a push, but I'm confident I'll get it finished now today. So yeah, bye for now. Wow, that was a graft. It's 20 past 4, we've still got a big tidy up, got a bit of cleaning to do. But got that little patch in there, full wall on, It was shocking, but not shocking, but with the bonding and everything, it's your dry wall, so it went off fast. I've got all my reveals on, that wall on as well. The window's taped up. We always put masking tape on. I know it looks like it's a mess, but pull that tape off, clean the glass, it'll be sound. But the room's done. I just need to go around, scrape all my edges, and then a big tidy up. But it's nice to be just back on the tools for the day. Normally I'm running around sorting stuff, but plastering was the first thing I learnt. So it's always nice when I do it. Just nice to know I've still got it. But yeah. Anyone try to get in the trade, plastering's great to get into, good workout too. So yeah, 4:20, let's try and get tidy for 5 if we can. Bye for now. Good morning, it's Thursday. Me and Aaron are on site. The inspector's coming today at some point, so we just need to square off these footings. Aaron's just having a fight with the pump, trying to pump the water out. We've got a little bit of water down there, but then these other ones are right filled up, so I'm hoping this pump starts working because they are mini swimming pools, each one of them. So yeah, hopefully get this water pumped out, get them squared off before the inspector comes. He wouldn't be too fussed, but I want it to be bang on. So yeah, let's get cracking. So the inspector has just been. Everything that we'd done was fine, done everything correctly, but he said that the clay that's here under the build is sandy loam. So it means that we can't trench fill, which normally is not an issue, but next door's footing is literally built on nothing, and now because we need to put our footings in lower, it's not going to support that, and it'll stop us from digging our other holes. And now the inspector, which is fair enough, wants an email off our structural engineer saying how he wants us to now do it with the new situation. But the structural engineer is on holiday, so it's just a night. I got up this morning thinking I might get some concrete in today. No. So it's just in a whole new process now, but we adapt and we'll get it done no matter what. So yeah, let's crack on. Good morning, it's Friday. We've just got here and pumped the water out the footings. There's just a little bit left in, which we're going to get out now. Yesterday was a mad one, but we got everything we needed. The inspector wants us to put some mesh in these footings and some 10mm rebar, knocking into each side, but I'll show you once we've done it. We've just got some lats as well we're going to knock in, just because we've got no choice but to put steps in this footing now. So we've got to get that bang on. But yeah, let's do it. Hello everyone. So this part of the video is going to be quite in depth, explaining what we're doing it, why we're doing it, and a bit of working out. So if you find that boring, skip to the next part. But basically, with the situation with next door's wall, and we're having to dig in front of it, we couldn't dig the whole thing at once, otherwise it could have caused next doors to come down. So not an issue. We've dug the holes, had them inspected, and the building inspector said it was sandy foam clay. So that's why we're adding mesh into these footings. We're using 10mm rebar going into each side, just so when we dig these next parts out that they are going to be connected and held together. But the building inspector weren't happy with the clay, and he didn't want us to fill them right up. So we went back to the structural engineer and he okayed it. All the structural engineer wanted was our footings to finish an inch from the bottom of next doors. But the problem that we have is, which is this day and age is unbelievable, but it's just what they did back then. So this massive wall and garage that was built next door was built on the concrete drive, which isn't ideal. The footings are 100mm thick. They've just put some bricks and old mortar, sat on the clay, and then just cast a bit of concrete, and they've built straight on top. Again, this would be okay, but from this point at the front to that point at the back, it's falling quite a lot. So we have no choice now to catch it here and catch it all the way. We've got to put steps in the footings. It's the worst thing for a bricklayer, and they're never happy when it's done, but at this point now we have no choice to get what we need for the structural engineer's report. So this is the drawing going round the house. So at this point here, this hole and then this next bit that will be done on the second phase is going to be the same level. The number doesn't matter, that's just the relation to the laser, but our first step's 85mm. That just allows for a brick and mortar which will step at this point. So it's going to drop down 85mm, so we just added that onto the staff, and these two then are the same level. Both of them will be catching next doors when they're cast. That comes to here. All the mesh is, like I say, all the mesh and the rebar is in and ready. The timbers were just for finding our levels. Again, them two are together, stepped, and then these two are together. All we've done is adding the 85mm each time, and then that'll cover us for supporting this and having no accidents. Very, very precisely worked out. And then onto the next bit then. The inspector didn't want us to flood the footings right to the top, which was fair enough. So what we've done is, as you can see, down there, it's deep. You'd be looking at about 1.5 metres to cast it to that point. That is the deepest point. So what we've done is, this end, you can see how low it is down there. We've worked it out precisely so that this will run into that with a step for 2 trench blocks. So the trench blocks are 215. So what I've done is I've just gone 460, which will allow for the beds and everything. So then this part of the footing then will have 2 trench blocks running all the way around. So it's been a lot of working out, a lot of messing, but that is how we're going to cast this first set of footings. We've just built a little box to go around a drain, and then we're going to get a lintel across the top of that for when we build on top. But the first bit of these footings now, at 3:30 today, we're going to cast them. So I'll show you once we've got all the concrete in. The reason why we've kept this drawing as well is with all these measurements is because we're not touching the laser. We're making sure that does not get touched. When we've poured the footings, it'll allow us then to set the staff to each one, and we can check each point of each footing. So this drawing is quite important. Now onto the next bit of working out how much concrete do you need. So we work out concrete on a cubic metre. All them 3 holes, them smaller ones that we've shown you, are exactly the same. 1.5 long. So when you're working out a cubic metre, you work out on 0.1 of a metre. That's the decimal that you work on. So they're all 1.5 metres long, which is 1500mm. 0.6 wide, 600mm wide, standard footing, 0.9 deep, standard. Each one gives you 0.81 metres, so a cubic metre, 0.81 cubic metres. Now, this run is a bit more complicated because it's 0.65 wide, so we've got a bit wider with sides falling in. It's 8.4 metres long, but at this end, it's 0.6 deep, and at that end, it's 1.1 metres deep. So all I've done is worked out what's bang on in between them two, which is 0.85, and that's the decimal that we've worked it out at. So this run here is 4.641 metres. The last one at the end was 3.1 long and the same width and the same depth. So then it's given us 8.745 metres, which is quite a lot of concrete to put in that. So yeah, that is how we work out concrete. You've got to get it bang on because the wagons carry a certain amount. So we're getting the bigger wagon which carries 10, so we should be okay if we need a little bit more, but that's how you work out concrete. So yeah, sorry for boring to you. On to the next clip.
Keep his legs up.
Wow, what a day that was. It was a total of 7.9 metres squared that we put in the end. So it was a bit less than we thought, but what a graft. I used Pearson's concrete, not Watt Mix, only because Pearson's offer a free wheelbarrow service
but I'd never ever watch someone barrow it in. I'm just not that kind of person, or I wouldn't watch my lads do that. So me and Aaron jumped on barrowing it with them. Wow, I put about 30 barrows in, and then it got to the point where we had to start tamping it and moving it. So I'm putting the mesh in, so I jumped on to doing that. Aaron stayed on with them and we got it all in. The last one we got about half full, so I'm just gonna mix and pour that in the morning. We'll put some rebar to connect it, still solid. But wow, what a graft that was. I'm battered, my legs, my arms, everything is done in. My hands are covered in blisters. The original job that we did, the big one that we've just coming to an end, the customer there is a big part of the best gloves you can use, so he'll be fuming all the blisters I've got. But we're actually on that job tomorrow. Me and my dad are going to go there in the morning. I'm going to keep this episode on it, so this isn't the end of the video. I'm going to go there in the morning, build that middle pillar. I'm going to have a look at fitting the letterbox, a couple of little snags, and that's it. The customer's going to do us a snag list, and I'm going to go there on my own and tackle it, but it's nothing major. It's just bits. On a job that scale, you're always going to have them. But one thing today, put a bit more on my Insta story. I don't really put much on the Insta anymore, just because we do these videos and that gets most of the... When you're trying to run a business, you're trying to do the job, I just concentrate on the GoPro now and the filming for the YouTube. But today I put a few stories on, and I've literally had 10 people reply just to the stories alone on the Insta today, saying we love the YouTube vids. People who have like not spoken to me for a little bit, and they've watched every single video on the YouTube, and that's just proper hit me, that, because it's been one of them where like some of the videos are getting a couple of hundred views and you're thinking, is that it? But then you actually think, a couple of hundred people, if 50 people have watched that whole video, oh man, what a feeling that is. So we're going to keep that going, aren't we? Me and Raven have just been to Asda, picked up a stir fry, so I'm just going to go in, have a shower. My face is covered in mud and concrete, so it's 10 to 7. We'll go home, have a shower, have some food, and then have a nice rest. And tomorrow's a new day, Saturday. Get that pillar built, get that letterbox in. Then I'm going to go back to that job we've just been to, concrete that last little bit. I'll do that on my own, and then yeah, have a Sunday off. My partner Charlotte has been on holiday, so she comes back Sunday. I'm not sure what time, don't remember times, but have some time with her. But yeah, been a good week. Getting that concrete in was the big pressure, so I'm glad that's done now. We know where we're up to. I'm meeting Jack Keys early next week, who's doing all the brickwork for me. It's the first time I'm using Jack. I've seen his work. I'm buzzing that he's on board with us. Really looking forward to working with him. Hopefully he can do all the jobs of mine now from now on. But I know he's very busy, which is a good sign. Don't get someone to do work on your house if they can do it straight away. Always worth the wait. But yeah, Friday done. If you're still watching, thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow. So, Saturday morning, the labourer's just putting a mix on now. We've just got one course to put on the end pillar. I say we, my dad's doing it. That pillar to get up there, it's got all brick ties into the wall, and then we've just got the other side to do as well, which I'll show you. But the job is looking absolutely amazing. I hope the customers are happy. Pillar there. These headers as well look brilliant. But yeah, got to put a letterbox in as well. Let's do it. And there we have the finished middle pillar. What do you reckon, Raven? Both sides looking really smart. Cassandra multi-brick. Put one more course on there as well. You happy with it? So, whilst you're here, what's the best advice you can give to any young up and coming tradesman or business owner in this day and age?
From experience,
Yeah.
don't rely on others, do it yourself.
So get your skills yourself.
If you want something doing, trying to rely on people in the building trade at times, it don't happen. I've always done it myself.
Great
And
advice.
then you know at least it's been done properly.
Fair enough. Great advice.
You can always let the dweebs sweep up after you.
I've done that big job now. The wall looks mint. The letterbox I put in looks really well, but I forgot to video it. I'll be popping back there next week. I'm just here now, just to top this footing up. Get that up about another 5-6 inches, and it'll be sound for next week then. Just got some cement, stone and sand now, so we shall get it on. All concreted, covered up. Another job done. Look who's here. Episode 9 is a close. Thank you for watching if you're still here now. If it is possible, please like and subscribe on the channel. And we will see you next week for another good week.